Hi, welcome to Games Web. My name's Mark, and in this video I'm going to carry on my look at the Mantic Games Warpath universe with Firefight, the two-player starter set, Assault on Exham, not to be confused with Assault on Wrexham. Okay, so this is the large-scale battle game from Mantic. We have Warpath, Deadzone, and Firefight, and they're all set in the Warpath universe. We've already looked at the two-player starter set for the 3rd edition Deadzone and some of the miniatures. I'm going to take a look at this one now. Okay, so as you can see, we get this game comes with lots and lots of stuff. It's a very, very heavy box. We get two forces. We get the Forge Fathers, which for all intents and purposes are Space Dwarves or Squats, and the VMN, which are Space Skaven or Space Rats. And in the pack we get our rules and our counters, special command dice, and lots of D8s. We get the force list, which is in the command protocols. Get a playing guide, which teaches you how to play the game quickly. And then we've got our counters, markers, all that kind of stuff. We don't get any terrain, but we do get 25 VMM miniatures and 25 VMN crawlers or stalkers. We can assemble them either way. 4 nightmares, which are the big dudes. 2 tunnel runners, which are these dudes, and 1 tunneler and 2 progenitors, which are the guys with the strange weapons, which I can't see because I'm looking at this upside down. These guys here, the progenitors. And then we got 15 Forge Father Steel Warriors, 5 Forge Guard, 1 Stern Hammer, and 1 Forge Guard House Cow. So that's the Stern Hammer. Okay, so let's jump in and have a look. Right. Now, you have to bear me a second, but take the cell phone off. It's quite a large box, and as you can tell by the noise the box is making, it's got a lot of contents in it. Now, as always with Mantic Games, it comes with a slip cover. So I need to take off the slip cover because I don't want to damage the cover because it goes with the rest of my boxes. And you also get 6 Mantic points with this as well. Although I don't know what you can spell them on now. Inside the box we get another box. Okay, so let's get in. And as you can tell, just by as soon as I open it, this thing's packed. There's loads and loads and loads of stuff in here. Right, I'm just going to move this further forward so my light doesn't get in the way. Okay, right, so what we have here is, I'm not going to so much look at the miniatures now because I've already covered the miniatures for a lot of the stuff in previous videos, but we'll have a look at the sprues and we'll go from there. Right, so we have our big dudes, our terrors. There is 4 of those. There's 2 bodies in there. There'll be another bag identical to that one. Then we have our VMN regulars. There's 2 sprues of those. Sorry, 4 sprues of those. They're all identical. And then I've got about 70 of them guys. There's another one, and there's the other tunnel runners. Not tunnel runners, they're terrors. We have our Forge Fathers. That's the Iron Guard, I think. And then the Forge Fathers as well. We'll have a closer look at the sprues on those in a moment. And there's 3 bags of those. And we have our a bag with some Forge Father hero stuff, or leader stuff, not heroes. We have our tunnel runner, which we have 2 of. Right. We have a couple of MDF bases for putting things on. And then we have 2 huge bags full of stuff, which we'll look at in a minute. We get the bases for the miniatures. There's quite a few of those. There's a few more MDF bases. There's 2 bags of dice and 1 bag of command dice. And then We have our dwarf tank, our stone hammer, whatever it is, can't remember the name of it now. We have our tunnel, which is a big thing that looks like it came out of Thunderbirds, for the VMA. And then I'm going to put all this stuff back. We're going to look at this in a moment. But the main things that we get now that we need to look at is we get getting started in Firefight, which we'll look at in a moment. Tokens, which are on good quality stock card. Double-sided tokens. Oh, it's 2 sheets. And then we have the rule book. And the rule book's quite thick. I didn't think it was this thick. But that's the rule book. And it comes in at 220 pages. So that's quite a lot. And then we've got various places at the bottom as well. Right. Okay, look, if you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to pause and put this stuff down and then we can have a proper look. Okay, right, so we'll do the components one at a time. I don't think I'm going to look as much at the miniatures. It's more at the actual rules of the game that I wanted to cover, because I've covered the miniatures in previous videos, with the exception of the tunneler. Okay, so Firefight getting started. Gives you a brief view on what you need to do, and this is like a quick 4-page starter guide. So we have our forces. We've got the Forge Father's Strike Force, which is 810 points, and we've got the VMN Strike Force, which is 792 points. So it tells you how to set up your first game, how to set up your battlefield, and more importantly, we get, let's check that's in focus. Yeah, we get the assembly instructions for all our models. So assembly instructions for your housecarls and your Forge Fathers on this side, and then we've got things like the VMN on that side, and then on the next page we should have the tunneler and the tank. Okay, so that's just to expand your view, and the thing that I do actually like about this is it gives you the name of the weapons which are on the sprue, so you can, when you use your army list to build up your armies, you can go, right, okay, so this is a combat drill, it's a heavy combat drill, so I can put this on there, or this is a heavy chem thrower. I know exactly what I'm using. That's a ray gun, heavy ray gun. This is a chem thrower. I know exactly what's what for each figure, and I can just use that for my force when I build my army list. I like that. I like that a lot. Wish other companies actually did things like that. And then we've got sample army lists for each of the quick play. We have got a tutorial scenario, which is quite a simple one. So basically victory conditions is for each objective claimed by a player at the end of the round, they get a victory point. The player with the most victory points of the game after turn 5 is the winner. And then quick reference, which tells you all the quick reference stuff. And there we go. Now, the thing is, I can't see the assembly instructions for the tank and the thingy, the tunneler. But there are assembly instructions on the Mantic website, and there's lots of videos around that people have done anyway. So, okie dokie, right, so let's just get this all lined up. Okay, right, so command protocols, rules and force lists. So on the front we've got the Asterians getting ready to go and kick some bottom. And on the back we have got what looks like a marauder mule, I'm not sure. Set in and around the vast galactic core prosperity sphere, Firefight is an immersive and exciting tabletop game of futuristic battles fought on alien worlds in war zones of the far future. Firefight is played by 2 players, each controlling a strike force of highly trained or degenerate warriors. War machines, all vying for control or strategic objectives. In this book you'll find the rules and army lists for commanding your army of Mantic models, as well as 20 exciting missions to challenge both you and your opponent. A new game mode called Annihilation allows you to build huge mechanised armies of tanks and other vehicles for a truly cinematic battle experience. Also included is a large battleground section, giving you a deep dive into the vast, dangerous, but potentially lucrative Warpath universe. Warpath can be very, very funny, very much like 40k. There's a lot of humour injected into it, but it's also quite grim and gritty, and not really the place that you want to live. Okay, so we'll jump straight in. Okay, so as I said, we're on over 200 pages. The background starts at page 182. The rules are not very many. The rules, I think, it's about 4 pages of rules, 5 pages of rules, and then things that expand on them. So we've got Welcome to Firefight, which basically tells you what we get in the box, what you need to play, your dice. So we have command dice and D8. All Mantic Games tend to use D8s because you get a really good system together with a D8. Measuring, you measure in inches, and I think you can measure at any time. Yes, you can measure to check distances or range at any time, which is good because, you know, these guys are firing laser guns, far future weaponry, far future equipment. They're bound to know how far something is. They can't say, oh, we can't measure that. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so we've got our breakdown of our unit profile. And so you've got your troop type, the speed, which is SP, how far it moves. SH is its... I think that's its shoot, isn't it? Yes, SH is its shoot. Then we've got AS, which is assault. AR, which is its armor. HP, which is health. Nerve, which is NE. HE, which is height. And then we've got the base, which is the size of the base that it's on. So that's like from 25mm up to 60mm. Unit strength, how many models are in the unit. Where are we? Points, which are how many points it cost. Keywords, and then weapon stats. So Mantic, they started doing this, I think, just around the same time as Games Workshop, maybe slightly before. They started putting keywords into the games, like, so we've got here headstrong, and heavy armor, overwhelm, suppressive fire. Each of those keywords affect that unit and affect other units in combat with that unit. Then we've got the rules. So it's broken down into a series of turns. You roll for initiative, you do a scouting phase, you then do your deployment, you do your recon roll, so you're not scouting phase, and then you do your deployment, and you take turns with I activate, you activate. Sometimes you can activate more than one model if you're using command dice, or you've got a special ability. And then you've got command points, and you generate your command pool. Orders for your factions. And then we've got line of sight and partially blocked line of sight. And different types of terrain. Now, unlike Deadzone, which uses the square grid table, this uses a normal games table. You don't use the grids. You measure in inches or centimeters, whichever you want to use. So anyway, we'll get started. So to use a unit in a game, Firefight, it must be activated. So you place an activation token, and then that unit has got 2 actions that it can perform. So we've got short actions and long actions. So a short action, you've got shoot, blaze away, advance, hit the dirt, overwatch, which are all short actions, and then sprint and steady aim are long actions, which basically mean they use both your actions to use them. And then there's a description of where each one of them works, and then you can put these tokens like hit the dirt or overwatch at the side of the unit when it activates. As far as I can remember, I think all shooting and movement is measured from the unit leader, a little bit like in Star Wars Legion. I can't really remember that, but yes, yeah. To move a unit, simply measure the distance from the edge of the leader's model's base and move the leader up to that maximum for the action being performed. Then you move everything around to the Luger. So it's very, very similar to Legion, Star Wars Legion. Ranged attacks, and then we've got close combat attacks. Lots of great artwork of the miniatures. Assaulting, how you can assault another unit. Failed assaults, pinning units, and we have some Asterians fighting against Forge Fathers. Two of my forces. I've not got any of these yet, but I need to get some of those hopefully soon. And I've got two of those on that one, and loads of the other Asterians, Forge Fathers in my Space Dwarf army. Nerve, so are you going to bottle it? Are you going to run off? Or are you going to carry on fighting? Psychic abilities, because some models have psychic abilities. And use of cover in buildings, rooftops, falling from buildings, vehicles, drones, because drones are used a lot in the game. Keywords, which all are very important. So let's say seismic hits from this weapon with this keyword reduce the heavy armor reroll to a 4+ rather than a 5+. In addition, the target vehicle or construct units hit from this weapon are resolved at a +1 AP. Okay, then assault reactions, they're all more keywords. And then we have missions. So there's lots and lots of missions in this. There's like 20 odd missions, and they all look very, very similar. As you can see, you got the first 1, 2, 3, 4 missions have the same deployment zones, and it's only when you get to this mission here that it starts actually changing, because you got hostages on that one. So they've got narrative missions, which have a narrative gameplay, so and a follow-on effect. Force lists, so how to build your strike team, strike force. There's certain things you need to have. I would highly recommend, especially if you're watching this in late July, August 2024, that you go on the website and use the Mantic Companion, because at the moment it's free to actually use the Force Builder. Otherwise it's like, I think it's £5.99 a month to use it, but it gives you access to all of Mantic's rules, and so you've got the rules for Deadzone and for Warpath and for Kings of War and all the different rules that Mantic do. So we've got weaponry, and then we've got like the example trademark weapons for each faction. So the Asterians using no rifles, twin no rifle, no pistol, Talon no rifle, and Talon no pistol. Enforcers use Gatling laser and sorry, is it Gatling? No, it's Jennings laser. Sorry, that's Enforcers. Forge Fathers use Hailstorm weapons. Veermen use ray pistols and ray guns. Marauders use rifle, pistol, heavy pistol, and Maison Labs use laser rifle and laser carbine and stuff like that. They've all got a similar type of thing that they use. And then we've got our different factions. So the first faction that we get is the Asterians, which are, for all intents and purposes, space elves. But unlike the space elves of 40k and other games, these space elves think they're so aloof that they don't get their hands dirty. They send in constructs to actually do the fighting for them. So you've got the marionettes and you have ciphers and stuff like that that go in. Although there are a few of the Asterians, such as the Kalisha, who will go in and actually get their hands dirty. They are pretty devastating when they actually get into combat, because obviously they don't care about the troops dying because of the machines. Weapons platforms, back towers. So this is the lists. And then they've got a command list of what they have in the thing. And then we have the Enforcers, which are a human faction. And this is just pretty boring looking at. You need to be playing the game to understand what I'm doing. It's just chart and chart, so we'll skim through this quite quickly. So we've got Enforcers, which are humans. We've got Forge Fathers, which are dwarves. Then we have got, as you see, each list is quite intense. GCPS, which is the Global Prosperity Sphere. Is it Galactic Corporate Prosperity Sphere or something like that? I can't remember. They're humans and they're hell bent on on getting whatever they can. They're not very nice. Marauders are basically Mantic's version of Space Orcs. And then after Marauders we have Maison Labs, which is Mantic's version of the Umbrella Corporation. The Umbrella Corporation, obviously, in the Resident Evil, is just that, it's evil. And Maison Labs, they meddle in things that most people don't understand, and as a result, it can be devastating to the rest of the populace. The latest one is they've opened a dimensional rift and allowed an alien species from another dimension, which is the Kings of War universe, known as the Nameless, to come into our dimension. And these are demonic, and it's quite scary biscuits with those. Maison Labs. You won't find the Nameless in here because they've only just been introduced as a faction into Deadzone very recently. Then we've got the Plague, which are the big bad guys that everybody fears and fights because they can turn you into them. Unless, of course, you're the Marauders, because they are immune to the Plague. And then, if I can just get to the end. And then we've got the Veermen. Veermen are the Space Rats, Space Skaven. Really nice models, and they paint up quite well. And then Annihilation is a new way to play the game. So this is for mainly using vehicles, and lots of vehicles. So you've got armoured engagements, material damage, crew rescue, recon enforce, background, and this is all background for the game itself. So Council of 7, where are we? Meeting with new alien races and what happens. Right, so that's a quick look at the rulebook. Let's have a look now. We have our dice, we have a command dice. I don't want to keep this too long because my throat is still very bad. I'm still waiting for an operation. And talking for a long time hurts. So we have our command dice. They're in different colours because for various reasons that I can't remember. Oh yeah, that's it, because the command dice allow you to do different things. So you've got blanks on them, and some of the black ones have 1 hit or 2 hits, and then these ones have 1 hit, 2 hit, 2 hit, and then the green one has 1 hit, 2 hit, 2 hit, I think, and a special on it. So I'll have to look up exactly on that because I've never played Firefight. I'm looking forward to running it as I'm now a Pathfinder. So right, so big bag of gubbins for the tunneler. It's quite a big one. It's about 5 inches when it's finished and assembled. And as part of the Mantic Vault, they've actually done some weapons upgrades and tunnel upgrades, so you can actually build a second version of it. Same with the Forge Father tank, which is this one. So you get a lot of plastic. Now, I'll leave links to where you can pick this up from, but if you shop around, you can get this quite cheap. I got mine for 72, or might be 76. It retails £95 on the Mantic website. And then, of course, we get bundles and bundles and bundles of troops. Lots and lots and lots of troops. There's like loads and loads of plastic troops, but I put pictures up of the models rather than looking through all the plastic and stuff. So that's a quick look at Firefight Assault on Exham. I will be adding this to the 1 second. Sorry about that, the joys of having postmen. Okay, so I'm going to be having a look at the rest of the Firefight and Warpath stuff in the next coming months, and be doing painting guides and stuff like that with Roland, hopefully. But in the meantime, that's my quick look at this game, and if I get out of focus. All right, and we'll see you again. I've also got Halo Flashpoint, which I'm going to be taking a look at. That'll be sometime next month, which is very exciting times. So thank you for tuning in and staying so far and watching the video. Mine has been Mark. No matter where you are in the world, please stay safe and look after yourself. And if you can get some games in, get some games in. And above all, go out and enjoy yourself. Life's far too short. Take care, keep on rolling those dice, and see you soon. Bye.